it be my way.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
go ahead and
All right, Blursters, we are back with another episode, and today we are doing Gen V. And if you don't know, this is sort of like a spin-off slash expansion, if you will, of The Boys, which, me and our co-host K1 here, we love The Boys. But without further ado, let's get into it. I am your co-host, Shalon, and this is your co-host.
K1.
All
Let's get
right,
to it.
let's get into it. So I'm gonna start it off and just say that I really enjoyed it. It started off kind of iffy, a little iffy to me, just because I'm such a huge fan of The Boys, so I didn't really know how they were gonna go about the show. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. What were your initial thoughts of it?
Yeah, I mean it definitely came off wild from jump or whatever, and I was like, what the devil going on here? But but you know what it really reminded me of, and I don't know if everybody else thought this as well, but it really reminded me how the opening of X-Men went, with Rogue and everything like that, and how she essentially killed her boyfriend or whatever have you.
Yeah,
So, that little opening scene right there is just kind of like, oh, okay, it's like a dark X-Men campus type deal. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm with it. But
yeah,
yeah, so I wasn't necessarily disappointed when it started out. I was just like just interested to see these off the wall powers based on what we're not used to seeing, people flying, people speeding, and people in the water. So yeah,
yeah, for sure. It's definitely cool to see like the different students, and there were, I knew everyone was pretty much gonna be screwed up and fucked up in the head and everything like that. But it was cool to see, like you said, the different powers, with Marie and old girl that gets small. Even though I believe we did kind of have someone, if I'm not mistaken, I could be tripping, in The Boys, that someone that could get small. I think we already did, but it was just cool to see more of like a girl standpoint of that. And then the fact that, how she has to get small, that was pretty heavy shit, like some dark stuff.
it got dark real quick to like go into depth of her power. I'm like, damn, so you can't just get small off command? Like, Jesus Christ, it's a whole process to get there, and it's not fun. So I'm like, yikes.
Right, to the point where I didn't even want to see her get small anymore. I was like, I don't even want to see it, because it made me physically sick to like watch it. I was just like, this is too much. And the fact that, like, I think she said at one point, like, the enamel in the back of her teeth was like worn from just all the time she had to like throw up and stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, what? So yeah, crazy, deep stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then even with the main character or whatever have you, I didn't realize I had seen her before or whatnot because she was in the movie with Morris Chestnut,
Mm-hmm.
and was it Morris Chestnut and Beyonce, or Morris Chestnut and it wasn't Beyonce, but
Say,
I forgot other.
Regina
Yeah,
Hall.
Regina Hall. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Regina Hall or whatnot. And that was the first time I had seen her or whatever. And then for her to come back and be in this, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because she still looks youthful. Like she still looked like, a younger girl or whatever. So it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've always been a big fan of hers too. She was in dang, it was like a teen movie. Um, if it comes to me, I'll think of it. But that was the first time I think I was familiar with her in that movie. And then she also was in Sabrina on Netflix, I believe. But I didn't really get into that show. Yeah, and I know you watched that. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and that was another thing. I didn't realize that was her either way because the look they gave her was such a nerdy, girl or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, but this a nerd with body. Like, what's going on? What's going on here?
Right.
So Yeah, so with her character, I didn't even put two and two together, and then I realized, like, oh yeah, that's her. So she's, she's still constantly working, whether she is or not. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so
She was
mm,
super dope. I think her backstory was super crazy. I think part of me was kind of struggling because dang, the other girl that I can pretty much manipulate people by touching them. I forgot her name. Was it Claire? I don't think it was Claire.
Kate, Kate.
Kate. There it was.
Look, I pulled up the cast list. We ain't gonna do this tonight.
Yeah. But what she was saying, pretty much, fuck our parents, forget them. They, pretty much injected us with the serum. So fuck them, I'm not gonna let them, allow me to get the blame placed on me for things that that we had no control over. And I was wrestling with that because I'm like, a part of me though feels bad for her parents because it's kind of like the way it happened was just like some normal puberty type shit, and then but it turned into a day that changed her life forever. So
I don't know. I got my personal opinions because I mean it was always kind of spoke on in the boys about how these parents got this compound V for their kids and gave it to them at a young age or whatever, and then saw what happened after that. Like I always kind of felt like I'm like the parents really ain't shit for that. Why would you give your child something like that or whatever, not knowing whether or not if it's harmful to them or not? So, when she did end up, getting her powers and then essentially, not taking out her mom and dad, I was like, it's kind of what y'all get. It's fucked up, but it's kind of what y'all get. You know what I mean? So that's how I
yeah,
felt about it.
yeah, I agree with you because it's like experimental drug shit, and then you're giving it to your own flesh and blood, your kid. I, me as a parent, there's no way in hell I'm doing that shit. But it kind of is what they get. I mean, I hate that they had to go out like that, but and it was also fucked up because I don't know the real story behind her sister. I don't know if her sister actually really does blame her for her parents. She still has like some type of grudge because they kind of was like, I feel like throughout the series, they kind of, certain people in her life manipulated her by using her sister over her head. Like, oh, I can get you to meet your sister again, or I can reach out to your sister again. So I don't really know what the deal is per se with her sister, but initially I'm guessing her sister did hate her for that, which is fucked up because it's like she didn't even know that her parents did shit to her. So it's like it's just a messed up situation all around.
Right, because I mean, it's almost kind of like she can't really be held accountable for that because she asked for that, and now boom, here she is, not knowing what the hell's happening to her, and it's just like for something like this, I feel like it should some type of fucking instruction manual for the parents, like, hey, at the point when your child, gets such power, what to do and things of that nature, because
Right,
when
right.
mama was knocking on the door, like, hey, baby, what's going on? Because at first she was about to have a mother daughter moment with her, like, oh, I think it's that time. But nah, it ain't the time you thought it was, and just went, just went wild after that.
But my thing is like, how can they even be, especially when it's like powers are, I guess, just random like that. Like you don't even. I'm pretty sure they didn't even know like her powers would be some like blood type shit. To the point where she's literally manifesting blood into like these sharp objects and shit. So it's like, how do you even? At the end of the day, I feel like it's just fucked because you really don't even know. Like, how do you prepare a parent? Hey, if you pay attention to your child acting funny, but I mean, I don't know the way it happened. I mean, how can you tell?
Yeah, because I mean, it was Gen V. I mean, you just rolling the dice. You don't know what powers your child is gonna get or anything like that or whatever. But then again, I still say like as the parents, they should be given some type of caution
Yeah,
for whatever power they might get, what to prepare for and things of that nature, so they won't essentially get killed, like what happened with the parents or whatever. Because at the end of the day, what if she had laser vision? Like, okay, boom, we all go down the bunker where we can't get harmed or whatever, like something, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
with that, it's like you roll the dice and then whatever your kid got is whatever they got.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Man. It's unfortunate, but yeah. And then from there, her life pretty much was like, I think she was if she in and out of foster homes or living at a home or her situation.
yeah, I think she was in and out of foster homes and things of that nature, but she was still like she was still kind of driving to, get into, I guess, essentially superhero school, or what I like to call sky high, pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. She was just trying to get into sky high or whatever have you, and that was her aspirations because she wanted to control her power or whatever, and to have the power that she had or whatever. I was like, man, this is kind of a wild power. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is the first time I'm seeing this, but apparently that's not the first time we're seeing that power. It's just the first time we've seen that power not being controlled. And
Yeah.
then, later on into the series, you find out that someone from the boys got the same power, and she just ain't honed in on hers yet.
Which is crazy. I'm sorry, but that's I was just thinking when I watched, I was like, yo, Marie is more powerful than I think she's starting to realize that shit. But just like think of like all the stuff she could do. She can literally stop someone's heart. If she wanted to, she can bring someone back to life if she wanted to. She can blow people's heads up and limbs up. Like she's something serious. For real.
Right. And I mean, and then that's what, they were kind of saying throughout, like, she doesn't realize how powerful she is or whatever. And, and she don't. And until she gonna learn that, she gonna have to have somebody that's gonna teach her. And sadly to say, it might have to be an old girl that's gonna have to be the one to teach her. But of course, I know if she go that route, it's not gonna end well. She gonna probably, end up popping everybody's heads off or whatever. But like you said, it is cool how she can manifest it in any way because, like, even we probably skipped some parts, but we'll fill in the gaps. But like even when she got cool with the cool crowd or whatever, they was at a party just enjoying themselves or whatever, and then what's his name, Andre. Andre was using his like telekinesis or whatever, had something for. He was just trying to holler at this girl. Now, mind you, Andre is bisexual. This man but been bisexual in this. He was bisexual in Sabrina. I guess in everything he gonna be in, he gonna be bisexual.
Oh really?
Yeah, so even in Sabrina, he was bisexual as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
but so they was at this party or whatever. He had this little glass thing he was trying to make go float over to somebody and put in their cup. And then somebody bumped him and he fucked around, cut somebody's neck. And I was like, oh shit. And then old girl over there, she freaking out because she's looking at them, looking at that person like, damn, how am I gonna save you? Because I couldn't even save my parents when this happened. And then slowly but surely she was able to get the blood back into the woman and heart started beating. I was like, yo, you do not understand like what you can do. Like,
Right. I'm telling because at first I was just like, you these powers, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm in trouble, not no, I take that back. If I'm on the verge of death, I ain't gonna mind it too much. But just on a normal, just daily basis of her being a hero, I'm like, I don't want her to be, making some blood rope lasso or some shit trying to save the day. Because to me, that's kind of nasty. This blood and fluids and stuff. I was like from the beginning, she just need to be in the medical field because you know what I'm saying.
that's essentially where her talents will work best because I mean that just seems unsanitary as fuck. Like,
Right,
you about to fall and somebody save you with a blood rope. It's like, damn.
right, right. You got cuts, gashes and stuff, and then her blood mixing in with it's just nasty, man. I was just like, she need to just be in the medical field on the front lines. She would just thrive in that, in that arena. But yeah, back to what you're saying at the party, um, with Andre. He kind of pissed me off because I'm like, bruh, like really, like you trying to impress a girl, and I knew I knew something crazy was gonna happen in the boys' fashion. Of course, he ended up slipping over girl's throat, like you said. But just to see Marie do that, I was like, yo, this girl is super duper powerful. I think she just needs to take her talents elsewhere instead of trying to be this hero thing. Because people continuously up to that point was kind of telling her like pretty much like I think the dean who got no not the dean dude I call him Mr. Krabs. He voiced Mr. Krabs who got killed by dang what's his name Golden Boy. He got killed by Golden Boy.
Oh, you talking about the Dean?
Yeah, was he
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dean?
yeah. Yeah, he was the Dean. Let me pull his name up. I know you talking about.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown. He was Professor Rich Birkenoff.
Bergnoff, yeah. So I
Yeah.
call him Mr. Krabs because he was Mr. Krabs too. But but even he was telling her like you not no hero, da 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 da, and I kind of was like low key agreeing with him. I'm like, you a hero, but not in the way that I think you want to be. Like,
Yeah. I mean, but even with that being said, I do think it was racist connotations in that as well because there was never a black woman in the seven or whatever have you, and here you got his essential golden boy, which that's what he was. You got the golden boy or whatever, which is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. I was
Yep.
like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
even know. That's dope. Hmm.
Right. So, they basically putting all their chips into him and like, okay, he's gonna make it big. He's gonna be a part of the seven or whatever. We can't have nobody jeopardize that or whatever have you or whatnot. Because I mean, with the show, it started off like any classic, school drama or whatever have you. You got your popular kids, you got the unpopular kids, and who's gonna make it to the top and what are they gonna do to get there or whatever have you. So even with then she really wasn't trying to fool nobody. She was just trying to come in, do what she had to do, and that was it. But then she just got pulled in by everything because what you call it, Emma, her roommate was just like, yeah, nah, girl, you gotta get out here and blah blah blah, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. She kind of just got thrown into like the bullshit. Because I think initially they first it was, I guess you call like the popular top kids that people are saying, hey, they're definitely gonna be either superheroes or end up going to the seven eventually. Besides Golden Boy, it was Andre, Golden Boy, Kate, and Emma. No, not Emma. The
Jordan.
yeah, Jordan. I fucks with Jordan. So when they invited her out, I feel like after that, it kind of just things really started going downhill for her. Which initially I was kind of happy because I was like, at least she's starting to meet, make new friends. This could work in her favor. But at the same time, I was like, because we watched The Boys, I was like, they want to be in the seven so bad. And this shit is toxic as hell. I was like, you think this is bad? Just wait till y'all get in the seven to deal with Homelander's ass. Like,
Right, that's a whole nother animal because
right.
'cause like I said with Gen V, I think it was at that point where they're at that point of the series where in the boys, Homelander has essentially took over and things of that nature, whatever. Don't nothing run unless he say go now. But before then, they had his thumb on him, and now he just got his thumb on everybody or whatever have you. So I'm interested to see how the play by play is going to be from taking Gen V, flowing into the boys, and then flowing back to Gen V.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Same here, same here. Even with Golden Boy, um, I still feel like because this is a thing that kind of confuses me, and we may be jumping all over the place, but so of course the Blursters know he ends up committing suicide after he kills Tom Clancy's character. And the whole premise of the show is pretty much they're finding out, what happened, what is, why did he kill himself? What they start uncovering shit like the woods and what's really going on at the school. And I feel like now, if this kind of was the reason, I feel like it was kind of a lame because I feel like he was just kind of like I felt guilty for killing the dean, and I'm just like, well, is that the only reason why you committed suicide? I feel like they really didn't touch on that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, for me, I think it was a mix of a lot of things because it went from him having these night terrors to essentially not remembering anything, and then essentially thinking his brother was gone when his brother wasn't, and things of that nature. And I mean, Kate really fucked with his head. Essentially, that's what I really think went down. Like, and then he finally just started kind of breaking out of it to the point where, like, I think he got to the point where he was remembering things that he wasn't supposed to remember, and then all of it got colluded. So I don't know. I do think it was a mix of everything, but I definitely didn't think he was going to obliterate himself. I thought maybe at least they take him down, and then he ended up going to the forest. But yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I think it was a mix of maybe he just kind of like as she really fucked with his head a lot, so maybe he just had like a mental break on top of finding out everything, then finding out his brother wasn't dead, and then maybe he did feel guilt for killing the dean and felt like at this point I'm done. I can't deal with. But I would have liked to see the mental break, like what led up to him because I feel like there was a big chunk of that missing. I mean, they kind of touched on a little bit, but we didn't really get to see it for real, for real. So.
I mean, yeah, and then I mean, when we get further into the season or whatever, I mean, I do think more things kind of were pulling on him that no one else really knew but him. So it just all I don't know, just all depends. I don't know if that. I feel like they'll get back into it more because even with his brother, when they finally start bringing him into the picture, whatever, he's having visions of his brother, even though his brother is dead. But I feel like that's not going to be the end all be all. There's going to be some more things that might come to light.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I wonder also, like, I'm with you. I wonder if they're gonna like continue to tie in things that maybe they didn't put in this season into possibly next season, and see how that all comes together. And then even bringing up with his brother, I was like, yo, like Emma, like I get you trying to help old dude, but dude is not right. And then he's that strong. Like this is legit like another Homelander Jr. out here. Like this dude he ain't got all his rocks in his. I don't know. He's missing something. Mm-mm.
Nah, because I mean, to be honest, he probably his mental state is probably that of Black Noirs because when he fucking killing people, he's seeing puppets and shit like that or whatever, and it's just like Black Noir, like he not talking, but he be seeing weird shit in cartoons and shit like that or whatever. So yeah, he's definitely a danger, and yeah, to be honest, I was like, maybe he should go down, but I was like, hey, I might need him later on to fight off Homelander. I don't know, but I said he gonna serve a purpose somewhere. I don't know.
I said the same shit. I was like, yo, I hate to be that person, but I think he need to go because like y'all can't do like even with the puppet scene. I was thinking he legit was imagining all of it, like all of it. I didn't think he was actually killing people. Like he was just envisioning them as puppets until like it was done, and then I saw the dead body. I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy.
Yeah, just imagine a motherfucker ripping through you so easily that in his mind it feels like you're a puppet. That's crazy to me.
Oh, that's why. That is why. Yeah. So and then even with that, like I guess they're gonna probably dive deep into like that whole situation. I'm like, how the hell did he just manage to find himself locked up? Like, where's the parents? Like, does the parents aware of like the son in the woods, or were they in on it or some shit? I don't damn know. It's just so many questions.
Yeah, I hope they get answered in season two because I was like, are really kind of leaving us at a blank with some of these things. There's some things that we can pull on from the boys, sure, but as far as this story states, we need to know more about what's going on with each individual character, whatever. Like even Andre's backstory, I feel like there's not a lot we know about his backstory or whatever. Because his dad's supposed to be Polarity. We were like, who the fuck is Polarity? Because we didn't know nothing about him and the boys. So who the fuck is that? And and it'd be interesting to know their backstory because let's be honest, what you call it, his dad Polarity, he doesn't have an English accent. So why does Andre have an English accent? So
English accent?
yeah,
Really? I gotta listen to him again. I didn't catch the English accent. Maybe I need to watch it again.
listen to him. He got an English accent. Just about everything he has like a sort of a English s accent.
Is he like maybe British in real life? Maybe.
I mean, it's a chance because what his real name is what Chance Perdomo. So
Hmm.
it's a big change. I don't know. It's a big thing, but basically
Yeah.
what I'm saying is between him and his dad, they don't sound the same as far as dialect goes or whatever. So I'm interested to know what's the backstory of that, and then just even his dad in general. Like apparently he's this superstar hero, but we didn't hear nothing about him previously.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking that maybe is he one of like the OG type superheroes, like from because he is an older man, like maybe that's why we didn't really. But my thing, I'm with you, is like he's essentially that universe's Magneto, low key. Like why we didn't really hear much about him. And the crazy thing about it is to find out that their powers are actually killing them. We found that out towards the end. Is wild, and I hate that Andre. Like it's crazy how in this universe like super powers and status is like everything to the point where Andre's telling his dad in the damn hospital bed because this nigga had a seizure and before I jump into it was funny. I was watching it and they're in the ambulance. I thought it was hilarious that meanwhile the back of the van is getting crushed like a can of tuna and the driver is still driving, swerving on the road but still driving. I was like, why don't y'all pull over? Like
right, and let that man out because I mean he is literally crushing your vehicle as you're driving. Like let that man out, let him get off whatever he need to get off, and then proceed. But
yo,
yeah,
yo. But quick little side thing, but back to what I was saying with Andre, to the point where he's telling his dad, yo, like, our powers are killing us. And his dad was just like, I just need you to take the mantle. Like, that's pretty, I just need you to continue the polarity name. I don't know if he really heard Andre or what, but I'm just like, bruh, like.
All his dad was worried about was status at that point or whatever have you. So it's I don't know, it's the vices say like what really was going through his head. I mean, I think his dad knows like, yeah, I'm probably gonna die or whatever, but that's what kind of kills me about the series in general. Just the whole boys, just the nature of how they get their powers and everything like that. Because even in the boys, you had it where the damn, I don't know, I forgot his name all of a sudden. Butcher. When Butcher took the temp V or whatever, it wasn't no good for him or his friends or whatever have you. So it's like if the temp V ain't no good for humans, I can only imagine what the actual V is doing to the soups, which were, given that, as babies and things of that nature, or whatever. And but the fact is killing them is just like, so what's the point in developing a disease if the shit gonna kill them anyway? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not super familiar with the comics, the boys comics. So I don't know if that could be a thing. Like I'm thinking about it. Like eventually, do we find out that actually the serum actually is killing the superheroes, the suits or whatever? I don't damn know. And I'm with you. If you see how what it's doing to Butcher, I think Butcher at this point is actually dying because he kept taking the damn serum. Um, so it's like, if we see how that does to like a regular human, I can imagine what these tumors are, and they were injected as babies. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it just so happens that polarity, I guess he's just getting the worst side effect of them all. So like literally affecting him more so than others, I guess. But shit is crazy, man. Just for status.
Yeah, I mean for sure. And then I guess another thing too that I'm interested in is like with some of the superheroes that had children that didn't necessarily have to take the V or whatever, how's it affecting them? Because I would assume since it's being passed down to them and since they're natural born into their powers or whatever, it might not affect them as it would the OGs, like you said. So I'm interested in finding that out because let's just say for instance, Marie, her character, I don't think her parents passed that on over to her. She had to actually get the V put in her. So essentially, she might be powerful, but that could tear her down as well. So it's so many questions when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I'm just like with Maria, I don't know how she ain't passed out from lack of blood. Yeah, I don't damn know. Like,
Yeah, because baby girl was in she was getting the goddamn lock with the basketball court or whatever and locked everything off and slit her shit and just start playing around with it. I was like,
like that's
okay.
yo, like, ain't nobody want to see that. But um, yeah, and back to Andre and just him and finding out the revelations with him and Kate. Like y'all are trifling. Like I'm like y'all supposed to be this man's best friends, and this whole time y'all were having y'all own side affairs, sleeping together and stuff. And I'm just like, yo.
Like, cause you gotta think, Golden Boy when he was tripping on his shit or whatever, he held Andre and was like, "I love you," and then killed himself. And then you get further into the story, and then him and his girl get together, whatnot. But then the whole time you find out, oh nah, y'all been fooling around. It's just now Golden Boy's dead. Now y'all got to hold back. And I was just like, this is wild because they moved together as a clique. So it's Jordan, it's Andre, it's Kate, and it was Golden Boy at the time. They all moved together as a clique. So it's like y'all around each other day after day or whatever, and this shit don't feel weird to y'all.
Nothing. And like, when I first saw it, I was like, so your boyfriend and your best friend just committed suicide, and this is what y'all doing. And then when it showed in the memories that they've been doing this, I was like, it makes sense. This legit makes sense. And even I was thinking, how many of those times were legit versus Kate manipulating Andre into those situations?
I mean that, and then also like who's to say that she wasn't taking memories away from Golden Boy and Andre for certain things. Like she could be probably cheating blatantly in front of Golden Boy's face or whatever. Like, oh God, what you doing? Then take glove off. You gonna forget this.
Yeah.
Who knows how long that had been going on?
Yeah, that's really something to think about. You just never know. And Kate's super powerful too. The fact that this girl told her brother to go away and don't ever come back, and he's still never to be found again. I'm like, sheesh, that's scary.
Right. This was at a young age too, not knowing her power, and to do that to your brother, and then to like you said, never see him again. That's just that's wild to me.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
it's fucked up because, like we said earlier, the parents did this without when they were babies, and they don't have no knowledge of their powers. And so it's like, how can you then turn around and then pretty much hate her for doing what she did when you're the blame for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't know. She was just like, you get into a sibling fight, and you're like, go away, never come back, leave me alone. She didn't know that nigga was gonna do that shit for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of fucked up. Kate and all of them, I part of me do sympathize with them. So
I want to, but
yeah,
it's just a lot of layers. Because
yeah,
I mean, because like to be going to the school, especially like from Marie's character, whatever. This is all she wanted to do. She's wanting to go to school, and essentially the dean or professor, whatever, he had to be a dean because one no professor had a power to kick her out. So I'm assuming he was a dean. So, anyways, the dean was about to kick her out or whatever because he felt like, yeah, okay, at that little party I went to or whatever, like, yeah, well, their I'm not gonna jeopardize their careers to possibly being a seven because you saved a life or whatever. Because it honestly felt like to me, they felt like, oh yeah, you should have just let her die. But since she saved her, it's like now she has a memory of, hey, I got my throat slit by such and such, and that might jeopardize what they got going on. So when he was about to kick her out, then Golden Boy killed him. In her eyes, she's like, oh, bet I ain't got to go nowhere now. Now I can finish out, school and everything like that or whatever. But at the end of the day, it just kind of find out that school ain't even what you thought it was. School's just a front. So, yeah, that was wild.
and I'm just like, bro. So I don't know. It's so weird because a part of me is like, okay, the school is a front, and I guess they're just studying the students, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of gotten to a point where the school does hold some weight, obviously, because that's how people start scouting for the seven. And I guess they have, I don't know, I'm guessing it's like a My Hero Academia type thing where there's other agencies maybe, and they kind of, maybe get scouted for that. Because I don't know if, I can't even say his name, Polarity. I don't know if he ever was in the seven. I do know he's a alumni part of the school, but I don't know if he was ever part of seven. Maybe he just worked for another agency. I don't know.
I mean, it's possible, but I know he also had a statue too, as well as Homelander. He had one as well. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say so Homelander is a statue at the school too. Oh, I thought. See, I was thinking it was just A Train and Queen Maeve because I know they went to the school. Really? Okay.
Yep, he had one up there, him as well.
Okay. 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 See, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have to look it up with Polarity and see, if he was part of seven. But yeah, I don't know at this point. I mean, like I said, I guess the school does hold weight at this point, but it's just like, I guess I was gonna say, well, how are they getting away with this? But at this point, the universe is just corrupted anyway. I'm not really shocked that the school is doing this.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of things. Cause like you said, I do think the school in itself is reputable or whatever, but that's their secret. The experiments and stuff that they're doing, and I don't even think the experiments they're doing on the soups that are in the facility. I don't even think those are actual students, but they are running that facility under the school or whatever have you. So like, but they were for real prospects because even at the time where school was getting attacked or whatever. Whole time you got the board of trustees upstairs, and they like, oh shit, who can we find to save us, and we can put them in a seven and shit like that or whatever. So it's just like yeah, it's real, but just got other shit going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's like I really like taking a step back from the show. I'm just like everything's just so fucked in this universe. Like from just the government, the seven, the school, the people. I mean, even Translucent. We found out the last episode that was Translucent's son, and I'm like, bro, that makes a lot of sense because Translucent was a freaking freak, and his son is a freak. So it's like,
Well, he was a wild boy. Him and his goat, bro. I don't
oh,
understand what was going on, but yeah, that was a wild boy.
and it's just crazy. And the sad thing about it, this we had the same type of universe with super. I guarantee you it would be the same way, probably even worse with type of people that's in the world today. That's the crazy part about it. But not getting way too far away from the story. So when I guess Andre starts trying to put things together, I think what was no, he remembered what Golden Boy had whispered to him. Talk to your dad or check with your dad or something. And then that's when he started piecing things together.
Yeah, something to that extent. Whatever, yeah, whatever he told him kind of, triggered him to look more into it or whatever have you. But like I said, at that point, all of them were kind of stunned, like, damn, this shit really happened. Because at first, Jordan was giving Golden Boy to work before he went nuclear. Jordan was in there, holding him off before he could, take anyone else out or whatever have you. And that just kind of speaks to how powerful Jordan really is. Because to be honest, I don't think we've seen all of Jordan powers. That's a lot that Jordan can do, like strength and like some type of posts and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff Jordan can do that we've yet to really dig into.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I'm hoping for next season we can, because I'm not, it's still not entirely sure of what Jordan is fully capable of doing. We saw some of his powers and things that he's capable of, but I don't really know exactly what his powers is besides being able to change between genders. And then he has like the blast, or I think it's the blast. I'm not sure. I just know that he's super strong. Like you said, he held his weight with Golden Boy. He's supposed to be, that campus's homelander essentially. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, Jordan's pretty strong for real.
Yeah, Jordan really showed out right there and then, because before then you didn't know how strong Jordan was. You just know that Jordan could, shift
Yeah.
his genders or whatever have you, and that was pretty much it. But then again, the dean did like shoot a bullet at Jordan. Jordan ate it. I was like, damn.
Right. I'm like, well, wait a minute, Jordan, okay? Because even I think when he was fighting Golden Boy's brother, he kind of held up against him too, and his brother pretty strong as well. So yeah, I'm hoping we get to see more of Jordan. Like I said, I really fucks with Jordan. I like this character. I thought it was cool. It's different. It's definitely different that he's able to switch between genders like he is. I'm really interested in seeing more of his backstory too. I thought it was dope that they kind of showed like his parents' sort of disappointment and their culture and all of it. Just how he is as as far as switching between genders, and how his dad was like, "Well, you were born a boy, and why do you want to be this?" I thought that was really dope to show that part of that his story. And even with the rest of them, I think they all have like these dope, dark, tragic backstories that I hope they touch more on.
Yeah, but for sure, because I mean, it was a sprinkle here and there of everyone's backstory for the most part. So, Jordan's, even Emma's was kind of digged into a little bit more because, when you met her mom, it kind of made sense how she was and how she goes from small to big and things of that nature. I'm like, oh, okay, now we getting more into why you do what you do and things of that nature, whatever, But just Sam in general, Sam is psyched out. Strong as hell and psyched out is bad combination. And so when they kind of met with him and things of that nature, and saved him, because essentially they was just trying to get down there and figure out what was going on, but ended up saving him as well. And that scene was kind of wild in itself when when
Yeah.
Emma struck down and went through this man's brain matter and killed him. I was like, hmm.
And I'm confused. I was like, did she even was aware that she did that? Because it kind of seemed like she was just kind of like, I wasn't trying to, but and that shit was nasty. She was in this dude's ear, like, yeah.
I wasn't sure, like, that scene happened so fast. It's like I wasn't sure whether she was eating her way through or clawing her way through. It got confusing real fast. And like even earlier in the series or whatever, she Emma essentially has been having dating issues because when a dude get with her, all he want her to do is like get small. I'm like, that's wild, cause that
Wow.
right, cause that whole scene when Buddy was like, yeah, is this the biggest you ever seen? I'm like, bruh, she shrunk down, and you asked her, "It's the
I
biggest."
was cracking the fuck up. I'm like, of course, of course. Like I was waiting for that scene. I was like, I know they can probably have her in some freaky deaky scene. I think she's probably one of the most fucked up people in the show, just because like for one, you touched on it earlier with her mom, and then us finding out more of her backstory, why she does what she does, and the fact that her mom's aware of it, but you're okay with your daughter throwing up to get small, not to mention how much throw up that has to take for her to get that small, and you're okay with that. And then some way she psychologically, um, of course, has probably body image issues as well too. And then on top of that, um, even with her dating life, like the type of dude she met, it's almost like she's kind of just like, fuck it, like I don't really want to do this, but whatever, I'm just gonna do it. And she's just like super like just so at the end when I guess she what happened, I think she got really sad, and I guess she realized she could get small that way. I'm like, is there any way you can just get small and doesn't require something emotionally scarring? Like damn.
I mean, yeah, that was interesting because even she was just like, what the fuck, like, so to find out, one, you don't have to throw up your weight to get small, that you get sad and can get small. So I'm interested to know whether or not, if she get angry, can she get big? You know what I mean? So but I do feel like she kind of unlocked something now. She got to learn, like, okay, I did this to get this small. What can I do? What else can I do without, eating too much or throwing up a lot?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Her having to watch like the type of food she eats, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. I thought that was really though. I thought that was really clever and smart of whoever. I don't know if she's a character in the comic books or that this was a character specifically for the show. But either way, I thought it was genius how they wrote her, because I would have never thought to do that for like a essentially a superhero that can get small and big. Like have them have an eating disorder and throwing up to get smaller, and then they got to eat food to get. That's crazy. That's wild.
I mean, because even if you decide to break that down a little bit, it kind of makes sense because like even with Ant-Man and Marvel, like in order for him to get big, it exerted a lot of his energy or whatever. So suffice it to say, like, maybe almost kind of like the Flash, like he has to eat a certain amount so where he can do certain things, or eat less amount to do certain things or whatever. So I think it was cool they kind of explored that and kind of made you think like, okay, what do these other people have to do to get that small?
Yeah,
Getting that big or whatever have you. So yeah, that was nice to see.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And then of course, her being the way she is, she takes a liking to Sam, and I'm like, girl, what you doing now? It's like I saw it a mile away. It's just I was just like, I hope he doesn't end up killing her or some shit. Which I'm happy he didn't, but it was just like the way they set it up. Like I said, I wasn't surprised that it went that route. I just want her to make better decisions.
I mean, I think when it came to Sam, it was just because he was unbiased. Like he didn't know anything more outside of just her. He wasn't looking for her to get small. He wasn't getting no pleasure out of that. He's literally been cooped up and locked up, and he's just trying to explore things and try to figure out what's going on or whatever. So really, when he just sees anything, he just sees her. So I think that's that drew her to him. Is like, okay, bet you're different. You're not worried about what I can do. You just want to love me, and that's all
Yeah,
she wanted.
yeah, I agree with that. That was a great point, because now I'm thinking about it. Even with I think when he first met her, he was like, giving her all these compliments and stuff. And she's just eating it up because she's probably heard guys talk like that about her, but essentially they were just using her for some freaky deaky shit. But I think like he really was like, looking to her for like, you're my hero and you're amazing and stuff like that. So I think, like you said, it made her, feel like good and uh probably different from guys she used to deal with, but kind of not. Because I'm like, well, damn, he's mental. I don't, but.
I mean, I guess she more so kind of felt like, it's better than, I don't know. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, cause she really didn't know how mentally unstable he was or whatever either. But like I said, for him not to have no, bearing, someone that hasn't been to school, hasn't been enjoying school life or whatever, she was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna run this. Like, he seems like a good person, which essentially he is a good person, whatever. He just they fucked him up. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you can tell he's a good person if he didn't have all those issues going on. And then just before I forget, the episode, I think when we realized Kate was, um, making them forget their memories, that was a very trippy episode because I was sitting there wondering, like, what the hell is going on? They just randomly, I think, when they were in the house and they just woke up, I think Marie woke up in the bed with Jordan. She's like, what the hell? I think some of them, I don't, well, Kate probably was in on it, but just the fact they were all waking up, like, what the hell happened? I was just like, well, what the hell? And then they start uncovering things.
Yeah, and I mean, I can get some context on that because earlier there was another character. His name was Rufus or whatever, and with Rufus or whatever, he can, what's his power? He could read, see the future or something
Future,
like that. Something like that. I
something.
don't know if it was future, but it was something to, like, if you gave him certain items, he could figure certain things out or make you see certain things or whatever. It was, I forgot what his power was.
Did he make you like forget almost like
Yeah,
or
he can make you forget. Like, he can make you forget, but it's something else with his power
yeah,
because, essentially Marie had came to him and she was looking for help because she was trying to, get some information about what was going on and possibly even about her sister. So he was basically telling her the right things, and he was like, "All right, close your eyes. I need you to get closer so I can have a closer connection." S- I want to say he's kind of like a medium then if
yeah,
he needs to if he needs objects and stuff to have a close connection. I think he's more so like a medium, but
yeah,
uh, we'll have to look that up and go back or whatever have you. But essentially, anyways, he can kind of make you forget things or whatever have you because next thing Marie's in his room and this man got a robe on, his dick hanging out. It's like, whoa, what's happening here?
right.
And she over here looking crazy, not wondering if he already did something to her or not or whatever because she don't remember what happened or whatnot. So of course she freaks out and her powers are blood, and blood is in your dick, and she made this shit explode. And I was
That
like, God damn.
recover from that. That was crazy. That was wild. He deserved it though, but
Yeah,
that was wild. That was wild. Yeah.
yeah, very
So
much so.
so, but I think initially they thought it was him that did it, but it really was Claire that was behind all that shit.
Right, but he didn't help his case though because he was moving kind of shifty anyway. He was moving
Yeah.
shifty, talking with certain people that knew about the woods. So including what's the character's name? In the Indira. I didn't even know. I'm just gonna call her Shetty. That's her last name. Shetty. Yeah, so he was talking with her and things of that nature and just moving real suspect. So that's all they knew. It was like it got to be him. Like, who else would just take our memories away like that? We forget what happened or whatnot. Because essentially, when they woke up in the house, they lost 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days of memory. Yeah. So,
Sheesh.
mm-mm-mm.
Man, and to find out, to find out that Kate was behind all of that, I was like, yo, now we getting somewhere.
Right, like people say, it be your own people.
Bro, I'm telling you. And I forgot, I'm trying to think what exactly happened else in that episode. I do know they started piecing it together where they realized it was Claire. And they're looking like, bro, are you serious? And I think she was wrestling with Dean Shetty, like feeling bad, saying, I think she was like, I can't do this anymore. And da 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 da. And Dean Shetty's like manipulating her. And then even with her, I was piecing it. I was like, you know what? I guarantee you a soup killed her daughter because when her and Marie was at her house and they were eating breakfast, she said, I did have a daughter. And then I was like, you know what? A soup had to kill her. Sure enough, her husband and her daughter was on that damn plane that Homelander took down. And I'm like, see, there you go. So it's like I kind of sympathize with her. Like I know it's not all the superheroes' fault, so you can't just kill everybody. But it's like I get where she's kind of coming from.
I mean, yeah, but then too, I just want to more so I want to closely understand what her relationship was with Marie because every time it seemed like somebody wanted to get Marie or like hey she's super powerful we need to explore her she would always kind of put up a wall like nah she can't be touched leave her alone whatever have you whatnot so I'm interested to know what Shetty's relationship more so was with Marie as well or whatever have you because even when it came to Kate or whatnot, she had been manipulating Kate for a while and having Kate do her work, dirty work essentially or whatever, and to the point where even Kate popped because she was like, I'm telling all these lies, making these people believe this, that, and the third or whatever, and then when they finally pull up on Shetty, or at least when Kate does, in the bad for Shetty.
Yeah, yeah, and I was gonna touch on it. Actually, me and my dad talked about the show, and I was telling him the same thing. I was like, well, about Dean Shetty and Marie, and he was saying, and I missed it. He was saying, I think in the first episode when they were talking before she got accepted into the school, they said somebody was not a benefactor, but somebody pretty much was either put in a good word for Marie or funded something. And it actually was the woman who has the same powers as her, the Congress or the woman that's in the So that's why Dean Shetty kept telling people, no, she's off limits. No, you can't do this. Da, 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 da. So I was like, oh shit, I missed that.
Yeah, and that character we talking about is Victoria Newman, and Victoria Newman was kind of she quickly became the big bad in the boys or whatever. So
Yeah.
the fact that she kind of revealed to her like, yeah, so you have the same powers as me or whatever, and I can teach you how to hone them and things of that nature because she's the one that kind of made her aware of like, oh, you can feel somebody's blood in their tent and things of that nature, whatever have you. I was like, that's wild, like like. Yeah, so to know that and know that she's her benefactor is like that's open up a whole nother, can of worms because, you're not about to go toe to toe with someone that's pretty much mastered their powers to the point where soups don't even think she's a soup. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm telling you, the fact that you just made me remember Marie can also like essentially tell if people are lying or not. The heartbeat, like everything, bro. She's so powerful, and I'm with you. Like, of course, dang, I keep forgetting her name, but she's mastered her power at this point. Where, like you said, people don't even know like she's a soup. She's just chill. Like you don't know. You won't even know to your head after the fact your head got popped off. You don't know what the hell happened because you don't even know she's a soup. Um, but yeah, I thought that was super interesting. Like I think that was probably one of my favorite parts in the show. I didn't think about it. I was like, yo, I didn't even think to be like, okay, they should have similar powers. So, it's just one mastered the power more so than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially going on, but step by step, Marie is, honing in on her skills and realizing, more things that she can do or whatever have you. And I think that's, of course helping the team in some ways, not to say they don't have no heavy hitters,
Yeah,
in a squad, but she does essentially, pulling the weight that others won't be able to do. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, so it's interesting to see her development, and I'm just kind of interested to see what's going to happen between her and Victoria. Is there going to be a standoff, or I don't know?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that and have. Well, I don't know. The boys are so like crazy. I don't know, but I feel like that could be a thing in the future with her and them facing off. And then with Dean Shetty, Kate, that whole situation with her and Kate, when Kate confronts her, I was thinking that she still was in cahoots with Dean Shetty, and they were just trying to, fool the crew. Come to find out, Kate definitely had on under her mind control shit, and she ends up telling Dean Shetty to kill her. So I was like, and I was even expecting for Dean Shetty to die, and at least not now.
Right, and that's what that's why I'm not gonna say confused, but I'm kind of at a standstill because essentially, it looked like Dean Shetty was, winning Kate over, and Kate was, submitting like, okay, I understand what you're doing, and I help you out this one last time, and then you get there, and it's like, wait a minute, there's a chunk missing. What happened? what happened between them having to talk to her now killing her, make her kill herself or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just wild to me because, like you said, same as you, I didn't think she was gonna go that quick because she's running a whole underground empire and shit like that or whatever. I thought it was gonna be levels to it. Like she at least maybe had a contingency for Kate if something was to go down like this or whatever have you. But when Kate made a slur to throw, I was like, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, it kind of left it hanging in the air, like in your head's like, yeah, it's definitely got to be it. But then again, it's just like, but it just doesn't seem like the point to kill her off because, the thing about Shetty, whatever, she seemed sweet, but she was cutthroat at the same time because you had, what's his name, that detective guy, detective superhero guy, whatever, that came to the school.
Yeah, the weird nigga.
Pull his name up real. Ooh, can't find him. Can't find him. All right, I ain't gonna dwell on too much. Yeah, I ain't gonna dwell on too much. But anyways, he was a detective, but he was more so a detective for like the news and stuff. So he was definitely out there for ratings and things of that nature. And when he came to school, he was just essentially trying to figure out who murdered, like who made Golden Boy kill himself, essentially or whatnot. Because when he came up there, nobody wanted him up there because apparently when he hit the scene, he fucked up. You know.
Yeah. What's his name?
So,
Take
huh,
Night. Take
tight,
Night. Take Night. I think. Yeah.
take
I
night.
don't
That
remember
sounds about right.
that
Yeah.
name, but
Yeah, that sounds about right because he can read cues and things off you, whatever.
yeah.
Don't know whether you're lying, elevated stress and things of that nature, whatever, because he had came to school questioning, all the students, whatever, to figure out what's going on. Because, like, even when it came to Andre and Kate, he was like, oh, y'all fucking. Oh, okay. So, what's the story there?
Yeah. He was calling everybody out. In that sense, I was like, you know what? I like him because he was just calling everybody out. Like he was like, oh, this, da 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 da. He was like, oh, I see a bead of sweat on your forehead. Da da. You feeling okay? Like he was just getting everybody. But and then of course in boys' fashion, he turns out to be a perv, a freak, and I was just like, eh.
Every hole is wild to me. God damn.
No, I'm telling you, I was just like, bro, even after the fact, I think he spotted like a hole in a tree and he's telling, yeah, I'm gonna need 5 minutes alone. I'm like, bro, you need help. Like you have issues. Like it's crazy. But even the Dean Shetty, she got him back. She was like, hey, I heard that, I think you only got some amount of time to live. I think he has like cancer or something. And she threatened him, like, you think you got something over me? I got something over you. And then he finally let it go. And I think he left no, I think he covered it up, tried to lie. So,
Right, spin the story.
yeah, spin the story and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, for sure. Because like I said, with him, like he pretty much, in my eyes, he pretty much had cracked the case. But since Dean said he threatened him, he was like, "Damn, yeah, I might have to trash this." And he moved on and just make it seem like there was nothing to be found there or whatever have you.
yeah.
But like I said, they just like to go back again to Shetty. Like I didn't think she was gonna be taken out like that. Over the situation with Kate because she was even holding Kate's hand, knowingly know that she could sway you if she wanted to. So that's why that part of it was weird to me. But the story continued on after that, and they was pretty much wearing for their lives.
Yeah, and see what I took from that, because a part of me was like, I was like, ooh, this bitch is good. Because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I feel like it definitely was a manipulation tactic. Like, let me hold your hand to make you feel like I trust you. So therefore, because I'm pretty sure she was scared on the inside, but she was like, I'm gonna touch her hand so she feel like I trust her, I'll manipulate her, da da da. And somehow it just didn't work. And I feel like, it would have been cool to see what happened between, but I also feel like I don't know if it was, well, I'm pretty sure it was done on purpose. The majority of people I talked about with that scene, they were all thinking the same thing. I thought they were still in cahoots with each other, but they weren't. She was legit like Kate uh had got her ass, and then when she slit her throat, I was like, oh shit. Well, what the hell? The dude that made the I forgot what exactly it's called. The thing that can kill soups. He's gone because Dan what's her name popped his head. So it's like at this point, what else? Like, what's gonna go on? Who has Well, no, her name has it now, so I guess she's keeping it. I don't know. I was telling my dad, I was like, I don't know if maybe she'll use that against Homelander or something. I don't know, because they want to get him out of here too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a number of things or whatever because like I said, like when it got to the scene with Shetty and everything like that or whatnot, um everything she did up until that point just didn't make sense that she would just be taken out like that. And then even, even the doctor as well, like, he tried to, creep on the low and give out the plans and the virus and stuff that he ended up getting killed or whatever have you. But we do know in the boys they was trying to find a way to kill Homelander. If that may be it, that might be it, but who knows or whatever have you. And even with that being said or whatnot, with Kate, her powers or whatever, she kept talking about like how the pills that Shetty gave her was limiting her, but I don't think it was necessarily limiting her. Limiting her, I think it was more so making sure she didn't go off the rails with her powers. Like kind of like kind of Kate kind of puts you in the mind of a Jean Grey essentially. Like in order to keep her in check, you gotta keep her docile to an extent, or she gonna go berserk.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that she reminds me of a Jean Grey. Like if you don't keep her under control, keep her calm, I think that medicine maybe just kept her as mellow and just her emotions in check. I think now that she's off that medication, she's definitely, I think she's just way off especially with her being going through shit with her family, feeling manipulated by Dean Shetty, and then just feeling like, fuck it, I'm just over it. I think she probably is now. She's a cracked egg at this point. So I think the medication definitely was trying to mellow her out. And then even with the end, I was just in my head, I was like, yo, initially I was like, the seven is gonna come and they're gonna kill all these damn superhero kids because they have lost their damn marbles. But when Homelander, and I knew Homelander was gonna make an appearance, I was like, his crazy ass is gonna be for this shit. He's gonna be with the shits. Sure enough, he was.
I mean, he just Homelander himself. I mean, we already know Homelander is racist as shit. So when when Kate essentially released all the quote unquote, I guess you can call them prisoners, all the kids from the woods or whatever, and then pretty much just told them like, yeah, kill anybody that's not a superhero. It's like, what? So you really got motherfuckers just walking up to people like, hey, you got superpowers? No, bam, die. Like just all through school or whatever have you. Then they finally get Homelander and come down. So and we talked about this or whatever. Like as he's coming down, the music sounds weird. Like it almost sounds like Superman's, like dun, 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 but it sounds like somebody fucked it up or whatever. It's like he coming down and everything like that. So you got Marie about to tell him, "Oh, Homelander, I'm glad you're here. We trying to, save the school from such and such." Then he like, "Oop." I'm like, "What? What's going on here?" And then next thing
Right.
you know, I'm like, "Oh, he about to do some fuck shit. I already know he about to do some fuck
Oh
shit."
yeah. Oh yeah.
So right. So he blasts Marina. I'm like, all right, Homelander fashion.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
As soon as he was like, "So this is how you do your own kind," I was like, "Yep, he's about to get her ass." And then that's the other thing. At first, initially, I was thinking, "Well, how the fuck she survived the blast?" Because we seen what Homelander can do to Soups as well too. Nigga can kill Soups. But I was also thinking maybe he blasted her, and maybe Marie subconsciously healed herself, like because she can do that blood shit. That's what I was thinking. Cause I'm like, how the hell she survived the blast by Homelander? Like that doesn't. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like we said earlier, I mean that speaks to how strong she's actually supposed to be or whatever. Because there have been certain superheroes that can take what he's dishing out. Like what's her name? Storm Chaser, and
Uh,
the boys.
yeah.
She could take those hits or whatever. And Queen Maeve, yeah, Queen Maeve could essentially take the hits or whatever. So it's like some people can actually, take what he dish out or whatever. So that'll be interesting to find out how she was able to, take the blast and what happens next for them.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe they'll touch on what exactly happened. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she was able to heal herself or whatever. And then I'm also thinking, what timeline is this set in? Because at the end of and we talked about it at the end of the boys in the last season, Homelander and his crazy ass son was at a rally or some shit. And I believe Homelander killed somebody, and then son looking devilish and evil. So I'm just like, well, I mean, is he off the hook, or did this happen in between times? Like, when did this timeline take place of Gen V? So I don't know.
I think it follows the order of the boys. So I think it's definitely right after the last episode we saw from the boys, and then you move on to this, and then boom, it's going right back in there. So I do think it's in between that point between uh the new season of the boys and the last season that we just had. So I do definitely think that's where it's placed at now. Going from there, it kind of makes you wonder because like even what's the guy, the director guy, he was trying to get people together for his movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And in the boys he was developing that as well and it wasn't finished yet. So, that just kind of gives you a glimpse of what's to come next or whatever. Because like even when all of them were in Kate's mind or whatever, she had Soldier Boy in there as a like defense of her subconscious or whatever. So it kind of makes you wonder about that as well. Like, is Soldier Boy is just a crush in her head, or is there a reason why she's that he's in her head or whatever? Like, what does she know about him? Because even when they went down there to the basement essentially, whatever, a lot of people are speaking to her like, hey, what's going on? You going this way, going that way, whatever have you. So it just kind of makes you wonder, how deep is she in this? What are
Yeah.
the people that she knows, things of that nature, or whatever have you. So don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like, how far does the rabbit hole go at this point with Kate? I mean, you just never know. And that was another trippy episode with her and with them being in her mind and them having to find a way out or being trapped in her mind forever, which was fucking that was crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see like how they even were able to spin it where now Sam and Kate are the heroes and Marie, Jordan, and Andre and Emma are essentially the villains that started the shit at school, and now they look like they're in solitary confinement somewhere in the damn underground. So
Yeah, for wherever they at, they ain't got no damn doors. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? So, but yeah, no, I mean, I thought that was funny too how they spent that. Cause I'm like, how y'all really gonna? Cause like, I don't know. I got so many questions or whatever because like my thing is, Kate already got sets in her mind that hey, I want to kill anybody that's not soup, but now y'all making her a guardian of Godolkin or whatever. So like, how's that gonna pan out? Like, what does her say so in this, or or did they essentially kill Sam and Kate off? Which I doubt it. I doubt they killed them off, but it just makes you wonder because most time when you're a hero, essentially some of those people die on scene, but you know, uh, we don't know.
yeah, man, I don't know. And then I'm curious to why Emma and Andre and Jordan them kind of seem chill about the situation. I'm like, y'all niggas are underground somewhere. Why are y'all just chill? Like they just nonchalant. Yeah, you took that blast like a G man. Da da da. I'm like,
Yeah, they seem all a little too calm. Like,
too
I,
calm.
I don't know. And then I would assume whatever they in, it dampens their powers because otherwise, I feel like they would have found a way out. So
Yeah, for sure. Between Jordan and Andre themselves, for sure. Like they would have been able to get out of there. So yeah, I don't know, man. Overall though, I thought it was dope. There is a lot of things that I felt like were left unanswered. I felt like the whole Golden Boy, that was the driving force to see, what happened that day. I feel like they dropped the ball on that because I feel like they didn't really revisit that too much or even his reasonings why. Like I know me and you kind of theorized, of course it had a lot to do with his mental state, maybe Kate fucking with him and we don't know what the effects that has on her just fucking with you and then him feeling the guilt for killing Tom Clancy's character. I don't know, but that was one of the things I feel like they dropped the ball on.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And like I said, I would hope they can definitely expand on it more because when you got the new boy season coming in, that means the new season this won't start till maybe mid before summer type. I don't know, somewhere around there. That's probably when the next season would drop or whatever. And hopefully they can, dive into more detail because this season alone was only 8 episodes, which isn't bad, especially for first season or whatever. But I'm interested to see how many more it's going to be for the next season and how what route they're going to go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm excited excited for the new boys season. I'm hoping that they listen to the fans, and a lot of us were upset about the season finale they had with Soldier Boy and Queen Maeve and the Homelander fight, and we were just all like, bruh. So I hope they do that. I know they're gonna have what's his name from Walking Dead in there, so that'll be done. Dope. What's his name? Not Neil. I forgot his name. The dude. He fucked. What's his name? The Asian character on Walking Dead that everyone loves, Glenn. Glenn. He killed Glenn. He's supposed to be on. I think he's supposed to be on this season of The Boys, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Give us some more range of characters or whatever, and we'll figure out what's next because like I said, the last season the boys kind of left us with, okay, y'all good, y'all dying. When it came to Butch and his crew, like what's going on there, and so it'll just kind of be interesting to see these new players or whatnot because essentially in Gen V you got new players like Dr. Edson and Dean Shetty or whatever, but now they gone. So what's going to be their role or whatever's left over, throughout the series. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe someone got a hold of that disease in a bottle for Suits, and I think that's gonna probably pop up in the boys. What's her name has it now, but I definitely think that's gonna be something that is gonna be a big deal in the future for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So like I said, of course we'll always be here to cover it. And and I really want to get into like Matt, not Matt, but Sam's whole thing as well. Like, why does he see puppets and why does he see like shit from Sesame Street and things of that nature? Why is he seeing those things? I know we talked about it earlier, but it would just be real interesting to know the why behind that. Why is he seeing that?
Yeah, I get like you said, he's mentally just not all the way there, but it's like I want you more to see more into his mental state. What exactly did they do? Did he always have um maybe I don't know exactly what you would call maybe his condition, but did he always kind of have mental issues where like, only, getting the superpowers only enhanced it? Like what exactly is Sam's story? And then maybe they'll touch on it
Yeah.
later on.
Because I mean, to me, it's kind of clear that he's suffering some, some type of schizophrenia or whatever have you. And yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
whatever they did to him, had to intensify it. Because I don't think it just started happening when he went there. I think it was already a thing beforehand. And now it's just like, okay, now you can't really control him at this point.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Like he's something serious that I wouldn't. I think he needs to be put down. I think it's dangerous to have. We already got Homelander's son. He turned at the end. I think it's they subdued Soldier Boy for now, but he's crazy too. It's just I don't know.
hmm
Yeah.
yep. I mean, we can't do nothing but wait and see. We can speculate as much as we want to, but until they drop it and throw us a curveball, that's where we at with it.
Yeah.
Which the boys has been known for to throw curveballs like that or whatever. So we shall see.
Yeah, man. But yeah, overall, I think it was a solid series. I really enjoyed it. Of course, I had my little things, but that's with all shows. But overall, really enjoyed it. Thought it was a dope show. I was worried of how they could live up to the boys, just if it would feel like a copycat almost, and it honestly didn't. Like, of course, some things were like you got the boys fucked up, gory overly sexual shit they do, but it didn't feel like they were copying the boys or trying to compete with the boys. It felt like its own show. So yeah, thumbs up. Great show. It was a good
Oh
show.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely was definitely a college life. Like what was happening in college if you was a superhero or whatever have you. So yeah,
Right.
no, I think it definitely lived up to what it was, and then the title in itself was just kind of perfect as well to call them Gen V, and that's just
Yeah.
kind of the more so show like this is the next generation coming up and what they're dealing with and what's going on next or whatever have you. So yeah, yeah, like I enjoyed it. I probably give at least a solid. I probably give it at least a solid 7.5.
Number five. I'll give it about an eight. Give it about an eight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it about an eight. It was solid. It was a good show. Definitely. I would watch it again. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
show.
I'll definitely watch it again just to see what I may have missed. 'Cause I'm pretty sure there's some things we missed, but it I wouldn't mind going back through that again or whatever have you.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of that, I think we, cover a good bit of. We was bouncing around a little bit, but
Definitely.
but I think we covered a good bit of it. If you know anything about the boys, then it won't be hard for you to watch this and kind of piece together what we're saying or whatever have you. But I mean, that's good for shows like this or whatever when you got other previous information to bounce off of to kind of add to your argument or whatever have you. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So if you guys haven't gone to see it, definitely you guys are not true nerds. Go see it, watch it. If you fucks with the boys, you'll love this. Trust us. Yeah, go watch it. It's a great season for nerds a little bit because we got shows just you know bouncing off. So
Yeah, because I mean it's been kind of dry for a couple of months. That's kind of why we kind of had to duck off until we until we could get some content because it's just been kind of dry with the strike, the writer strike and actor strike and everything like that. So it's good to be getting something to watch because
right.
otherwise we just be watching reruns. Like even my wife right now, she's watching reruns of Breaking Bad. So because ain't nothing really popping right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And they got some scare. I still got Five Nights at Freddy's coming. I watched that Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Worst movie in life. I'm telling you, worst movie. Me and Stella were legit like we are pissed off that we sat here and watched it. Terrible
Wow.
to laugh and eventually get pissed off. Watch it. It's terrible. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I had no desire to watch it. When I seen it drop, like, I mean, I was like, I can watch it for free, but I'm like, I don't even know if I want to take that time out to do that.
Don't do it to
You
yourself.
know?
Put a patient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm good because, like I said, I did finish Five Nights at Freddy's, so I can't wait for your review on that. But as far as things coming up, what the Marvels is dropping this week. The first episode for Invincible dropped last week. They'll be dropping another episode this week.
Oh,
Oh, and then I found out. Go ahead. Yeah, Loki.
hey, Loki.
Loki.
I think the last episode, so we gotta cover that too.
So we'll probably be covering Loki soon, if not next episode, because they should be coming to a close on that. But
Yeah.
we'll definitely keep y'all posted. And then even outside of that, I found out that Digimon is coming back to theaters. They're doing a remake of the O2 movie, and it's coming to theaters this week.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
So
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna
yeah,
watch.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Digimon. Bro, I've been out the loop of like the nerd stuff. I gotta get back in the loop. I've been missing stuff.
Nah, it's only because I'm tapped in with some real nerds, so they let me know about. I was like, oh, okay, bet. I was like, yeah, then I might have to go slide on that, but
Right.
otherwise, I probably wouldn't have known.
Bro, I even forgot the Marvels, but that's because I'm just kind of like already knowing what to expect at this point. So I'm gonna see it, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
cover it, but
yeah. That'll probably be one of the next ones we'll cover. So y'all stay tuned for that one as well. But like I said, you got Gen V now, and if you didn't see it already, we got Blue Beetle that we just did for our first episode, and whatnot. So y'all stay tuned, and yeah, go ahead, Shalon, you take us out.
all right, Blursters. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up. And like we said, we got more content coming. This is your co-host Shalon, and this is your co-host.
K1,
All right, until next time, Blursters. Peace.
peace.